We all want to know how to hit the ball super high or super low. Today's video is going to show you the setup you need, the swing you need to do both of these. Welcome to the channel. Let's get straight into today's video. So we're going to start with the super low shot and then finish with the super high shot. So what do we need to happen in our setup? So we're going to do this with our 7-iron, but this is shots that you can do throughout the bag to control your ball flight, even hit that tiger low stinger. So what I want to do is, it's going to be a 3-step guide. There's going to be a setup, there's going to be an analogy, and then a feeling in the golf swing. And we're going to talk about it simply and how we change it in the setup. So so what do we want to happen with our setup? So if we take a normal ball position with our 7-iron, it would roughly just be ahead of centre, simple terms. What I want to do now is talk about how we adopt our setup. So first point of call is, I want us to grip down on this golf club slightly. So we've got now an even amount of grip at the top and at the bottom. So we've gripped down roughly about 1.5 inches on our golf club. So shortening the lever shortens the potential speed we can create. So less potential speed is less potential spin, lower ball flight. Second thing, I want us to make a change now. I want us to move our ball position just to the right of our zip. So it's gone from just to the left to just to the right. And I want us to feel now, we've got a ball position which is just to the right, a slightly narrower stance than we would normally. Remember, we're gripping down on it still. And now I want to feel as though I've got 60% of my weight on my left side. So you can see here, I've gone from a neutral setup, adopted it with a ball position that's back, with a slightly narrower stance, weight on my left. So that's point number one. Those are all the points that I want to talk about as our setup points. Point number two is, I want us to feel that now, because we're starting to go to the golf ball, because now we're hitting more down on it, we need to do one compensation. I want you to pull your left foot back just so it sits inside of your right. So it will look like your stance is a little bit open, but in simple terms, this helps us create a more straight away shot. Okay? Point number two. Point number three is that I really want us to feel now in the swing, and the feeling is that we're going to swing to shoulder height, swing through, and never let the club go over our shoulder height on the way through. So we're really going to work on the fact and the basis. We're going to hold and pose this position here. We might come then out of it afterwards, but we're really going to work on the premises that we're going to go 3/4 back, 3/4 through, never let that club head go above your shoulder on the way through. So why is that actually making the ball go lower? Well, 3/4 swing, gripping down, less speed, less potential spin, lower height. Moving the ball back and getting your weight forwards allows you to hit down on the golf ball more, as well as reducing the dynamic loft, the loft the club has an impact, and that lowers our ball flight, okay? So by moving the ball back and the weight forward, you can see now I've got more forward shaft lean. If I can come back to the position, my launch angle then becomes a little bit lower. Let me grab some alignment sticks to explain this a little bit further. Okay, so we know to create a lower ball flight, we need less loft on the golf club, we need to hit down on it more, and we need some less speed. So we've done that by moving the ball back, getting the weight onto the left, that helps us hit down on it more, and that helps us reduce the dynamic loft. Then the 3/4 backswing to 3/4 follow through allows us to produce less speed. So those factors there alone are going to help us hit the ball lower. Now, these two alignment sticks are going to help me explain this further. We're going to imagine our ground is at this level, so we're going to imagine our ground is here, okay? We've got the first line, which is our angle of attack, okay? So the direction the club is travelling in relative to the ground. So we're going to want that downwards angle of attack, okay? This line now, the top line, is the loft that our club has at impact, okay? So if we wanted to hit down on it more, but then we left the loft at this, so we didn't reduce that loft, we would create much more spin and potentially a higher shot, potentially. So to lower the spin and lower the ball flight, we need to make sure we lower the loft, moving the ball back, and we move them in tandem. So we move this vector between our angle of attack and our club face loft down towards the ground more, and our ball will launch in between these two vectors. So launching lower, hitting it lower. So in simple terms, hit down on it more, reduce the loft the golf club has at impact, then we reduce the speed, lower launch, lower ball flight, we're controlling the ball in general. Okay, further ado, I'm going to hit this shot, show you the low stinger, and then we're going to get into how we hit it super high. Okay, from the top now. So middle of the club, club down behind, narrower stance with the ball back, starting with feet parallel, pull the left foot back, weight into the left, 3/4 back, 3/4 through. Really feel and pose that finish. There we go. Low punchy shot, controlling the wind, control to put it down the fairway. We're good to go. Okay, how do we hit it super high? Okay, so now on to the super fun part of this video. We hit the ball crazy high. Now, the real good advantages for doing this, if in the heights of summer or we're planning to hit over a tree or we've got firm surfaces, this will really allow you to hit the ball and land it softer. So landing it softer, potentially landing it closer to the pin, meaning we've got a better chance of making a par, birdie, lower scores. So how do we adopt a different setup? We said before, to hit the ball lower, we want this blue line or our ball position to move back in our stance and our weight moves forward. Decreasing our angle of attack, reducing the loft the club had, producing a lower launch with a bit less speed. Okay, so I want you to comment down below what you actually think is going to happen now at the part of this video. So what we want to happen now is, give you 2 seconds, 1, 2, comment down below, pause it, whatever you want to do. So what we want to have here is, if I take my normal 7-iron ball position, which we highlighted was just in between my head of my zip line, I want us to feel now, we move that ball a ball further up. So roughly moving it towards where we have a 6-iron, potentially a 5-iron, okay? So first point of call, move the ball up in our stance. This applies with all our irons, okay? We're going to move this ball up in our stance. Point number 1. Point number 2, we're going to adopt our normal setup, keep our weight evenly spread and 50-50. This time, we're not going to grip down on this golf club. We're going to keep our hands or move them towards the top. If we're someone who naturally grips down, we want to move the hands towards the top of the club. We need some more speed. That's going to help create more spin. That's going to help create a higher hit. So if we look at this really simply, by moving the ball up, that increases our angle of attack, so helps us be a little bit shallower into the golf ball, so less likely to hit down on it as much. And that also, by moving the ball up, potentially increases the loft the club's going to have an impact. We then add a little bit more speed. These are our 3 things that we need to happen to hit the ball higher. Shallower angle of attack, more loft, more speed, boof, moon ball. Okay, so how can we do this for point number 2? What I want you to feel is that we're going to swing now, full back swing, and we're going to feel as though we put a lot more speed in down at the bottom. Have a few practice swings, really getting that swoosh to happen down at the ball. And then as our final point, can we feel as though we finish like Rory McIlroy? So we've gone from our low shot, 3/4 through, to can we finish like Rory McIlroy, nice and high through the shot, and that's going to help us be again shallower into the golf ball, allow you to hit it higher. So if we look at it and summarize this, to hit it lower, we wanted to reduce our speed, decrease our angle of attack to hit more down on it, and reduce the loft the golf club had. Now to hit it higher, we want to shallow our angle of attack, so not hit down on it as much. We want more speed and we want more loft. Complete opposite, hey? Really nice and simple. So analogies I want you to feel and think about: ball up in our stance, more speed at the bottom, McIlroy high finish. Really nice and simple. Let's hit this away, show you a little bit more technically, and let's finish today's video. Here we go. High ball over a tree, landing soft. Okay, so the alignment sticks are back out. We had them before where we chose our angle of attack that wanted to be more down into the ground. Remember, our ground's at this level. And we really wanted to reduce the loft the golf club had, lowering our launch. So if we flip the scenario on its head, we want to be a little bit shallower, still hitting down potentially. And we want to increase this loft, and that's going to allow us to hit this ball a little bit higher with some more speed. That is what's going to be technically happening down at the golf ball to allow you to hit this ball higher. So simple terms, we're moving the ball up, we're trying to feel a little bit more speed down at the ball, so full swing back, full swing through, Rory McIlroy finished. Easy as that. You know now how to control your ball flight, super low, super high, so now you've got shots that you can start to create scoring opportunities from non-scoring opportunities opportunities out on the golf course. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, as well as keeping in touch with all the latest content. I want you to let me know what you want to see on the channel, what tips, what drills, what clubs you want to see, which are going to help your game going forwards. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, bell notification too. See you next time.